In this video, we will discuss share state or data between components in Blazor WebAssembly. First, let's create a Blazor WebAssembly project. Blazor WebAssembly app. With the selection, next. Blazor WebAssembly share state between components. Next. Check out this. Create. Now we have created a Blazor WebAssembly project, namely Blazor WebAssembly share state between components. Before start coding, let's explain what we'll do in this tutorial. First, we will create a test component which includes a built-in InputSelect Blazor form control and a display countries in North America. In the second step, create a ShareStateService and register it in the Program.cs file of the application. In the third step, inject the ShareStateService in the test component above and share the current selected country between the components. Namely, we will discuss share application state by using an injected service across the application. Now, let's start it. First, let's create a test component. Namely, in the test component, we are going to display the countries in the North America by using a selected control. In general, components resides inside the pages folder. Therefore, we create this test component inside the pages folder. Okay, first let's complete the C# code portion. First of all, let's create a country class which includes country ID and the country name. In the next step, let's create a countries list because there are multiple countries in the North America. Therefore, let's create a country name property. Now, let's create the uninitialized method. Inside uninitialized method, let's create the country list. Let's add each country now. Let me copy this and paste it. Now we have completed the C# code portion of this test component. Save this. Now let's create the HTML code portion, namely the InputSelect. For this, let's use edit form. Now let's create the InputSelect. Let's put it country name here. First, let's add an option which displays select a country, namely a message. Now, let's create all other options by using a for each, because we have a country list here. Therefore, we need to use for each. We have completed the input select control. Now let's create a label. When we select the country, that country will be displayed in the label. Okay, there is some error. Okay, let's initialize this with empty string instead of getSet. Okay, so therefore now we can use this condition. Let's display with the span. Okay. Let's put them one line. Okay. Save this. Let's add a heading. Okay, let's check it. We have router template. Now we have heading. Then we have edit form. Inside edit form, we have a label, namely the country, and then we have a built-in Blazor input select. Inside the select, we have binding value, namely this country name, because we are going to share the country name across application. Therefore, the binding value assigned it this country. Then we have created an empty valued option, namely we are going to display an information. Select a country. Then we created other options. Inside option, this country name is in the value, and in the text we also has the same country name. Now we have completed the edit form, namely we have completed the input select. After that, when we select a country, the selected country will be displayed in a label. Namely, we have created a label. If the country is not empty, at that time we will display that country in a label. Inside the label, we have selected country, and then we are displaying that country name. In the C# code function, we have created a country object. Inside country object, we have two properties. One is country ID, another is country name. And then we have added an initialized method, and inside an initialized method, we are creating the country list. This is the country list. It's a list enumerable, and therefore we are creating all countries. Okay, let's save this. Now we have completed the test component. In the next step, let's display this test component in the side navigation bar of this application. We have a side navigation bar here. Therefore, I just copy this and paste it here. Then copy this router template and paste it here. This is the label. Okay, let's save this. We have completed the test component. This is the C# code portion, and this is the HTML code portion. When we selected the country, that country will be displayed here, namely display inside this label. Now let's run and see this application. In the next step, we will create a ShareStateService and then we will implement it inside this component. Namely, we are going to share this country name, selected country name across this application. Okay, first let's run this application. Now the application is running. Let's see. The application is running now. Okay, this is the test component label we just created. If I click here, hopefully it will be display a drop-down list, namely a select control which includes the countries in the North America. Okay, countries in North America. This is the control. Let's see this. We have United States, Canada, Mexico, all countries in the North America. Okay. If we select United States, now we selected United States. If we selected Mexico, if we selected El Salvador, it will be displayed here. Let's put a space here. Okay, just here, space. Save this. Now select again. Okay, we have space here. Okay, we have completed our test component. This test component is very simple. It has only one select list. Namely, inside the list, we have several countries in the North America. When we select our country, it will be displayed here. In the next step, we will create a ShareStateService. We are going to share this data, selected country, across application. Now the state of this InputSelect is Dominican Republic. Namely, in the select input, we are selecting Dominican Republic. If I selected Costa Rica and then navigate away this page, visit some other pages and come again here, at that time, there is no Costa Rica selected. Instead of selected country message here, because we didn't implement the ShareStateService yet. If we implement the ShareStateService, at that time, when we select the country and then navigate away this page and come again this page, at that time, the state will be preserved. Now, let's do that. First, let's create a service folder. Now, let's create the interface. Create data. Okay, let's create the event. This unchanged event will be called when the selected country is changed. Save this. Now let's implement this service. Because this is a property, when we set some data, namely when the selected country is changed, we will notify. Therefore, this is a method. Now let's implement this method. Now we have completed our ShareStateService. Save this. In the next step, we need to register this ShareStateService in program files. Here we need to register it. Now we have registered our ShareStateService. Save this. In the next step, we will inject this service in the test component and share data across the application. Now let's do that. First, let's inject the service. Okay, we have injected the service. Now we can use this service and share the selected country name across the application or between the components. Now let's do that. Instead of this country name, we are going to use this service because inside this service we have data property. Therefore, we can use this. First of all, copy this. We need to add state has changed inside the uninitialized method. Because we have unchanged event, therefore, okay, we have added this event. Since we have added this event state changes, when this page is destroyed, we need to remove this. Therefore, we need a dispose method here. Copy this. Just remove this. Save this. When this page initializes, state has changed event, namely this unchanged event will be fired. Then when this page is destroyed, that event will be removed. Okay, now we can share data across application. Actually, we are going to share this variable, namely this country name. Therefore, instead of this, we need to use this service. Therefore, just copy this data. Then, instead of this, we also use data. Okay. Instead of this, we also use service data. Now we don't need this. Therefore, I just comment this, save this. Now we are going to share this data, namely selected country across the application. Therefore, in order to see that, let's show the selected data in the home page. We have a home page here. Let's share that selected country in the home page. First, we need to inject the service here. Okay, now we can get data. Okay, let's check this. Country here, and we have a span element here, and then this data, because this data is shared across application, namely the ShareStateServices data property has been initialized inside the test component when we selected a country. Here, when we selected country, the data property of the ShareStateService will be initialized. Therefore, when we selected the country, we are going to display it in the home page. We just displaying it here. Save this. Now the service is completed. Let's see the result. Let's refresh this. Okay, when I selected Mexico and then navigate away this page and come again, at that time, the selected country still be Mexico, because we have created ShareStateService and implemented it inside this test component and sharing selected data across the application. Let's check this. Now, I already selected Mexico. If I go to the home, it will be display the country name of Mexico. Okay, This is the Mexico. If I navigate to this test component again, it still be selected the Mexico because we have implemented the ShareStateService. Okay, let's do that. Okay, it's still displaying Mexico. Let's test again. If I select Costa Rica and then navigate away, okay, come here. If I navigate to home, it will be show Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica. Then if I navigate to test component again, it still show the Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica. Now it works great. Now let's summarize this. In this application, first create a test component. Inside the test component, we have created a selector. Inside the selector, we have displayed the countries in the North America. After that, we have created a service, namely a ShareStateService. After that, we have registered iShareState interface and the ShareStateService in the Program.cs file. After we have registered service, as we know, we can use this service by injecting in any component. We have injected the service inside the test component. Then, because we have data property inside this service, we have assigned the selected country to the data property of this ShareStateService. Then we have displayed that selected country in the label here in the test component. In the meantime, we have displayed the selected country in the index component, namely in the home page. First, we have injected the service, displays that selected country here. Namely, we have sharing data between components. In other words, we have shared the selected country between test component and the index component. Thank you for your watching. Please subscribe.